Welcome, Rake-Lust Wanderers. This is Robert again, and this is my first analysis, my first review from the beta of It Lurks Below, David Brevik's new game that is coming out this year on Steam for PC. Indie priced, so around the $20 mark it will cost, and I just beat the beta. Not on this character though, on another character. This was the character that I started with the second time. And this one unfortunately encountered an interesting bug that was fixed yesterday, and I can't activate any more buffs, but it's a good one to show you the game world. So as you can see, this is a 2D side-scroller platformer. The world is actually in 3D, the blocks are in 3D, and but everything on that is in 2D, and you start off as a character pretty much naked like this, and your first task is to craft a wand, because it's a magical world. So you pick up 2 sticks from the ground, craft a wand, and then you can use your wand. Your wand shoots projectiles. When your projectiles run out, so you have a certain number of projectiles, you have to reload. And that is how basic combat works. So you have hit points, you have your wand. The reload speed is affected by your wisdom. The amount of shots you have is affected by your intelligence. Vitality affects your hit points. Attack power affects the damage multiplier. And then you have hunger and stamina, because this is pretty much a survival game. So if you don't eat on a regular basis, you will just lose hit points and die. So right now I have no food here. I do have still some soup saved up, so I can eat that, and that makes my belly full again. And in order for getting my stamina back, I actually have to sleep. This is all not there when you start the game. You pretty much have to build all of this yourself. So you build yourself a little cave or a little house or whatever you want, where you can then place your crafting items that you can get after you get some ore. And you also have a comfortable bed where you can sleep to recover stamina and also recover health if you lost health during combat. And over time, as you gather more materials and if you solve more quests, you can actually start to build buildings, and with those buildings come NPCs. So this is the bank. I can store items here. This is a vendor where I can get recipes and seeds from. The seeds in turn I can use to plant crops. So if I hoe some ground here, and I think I have a bunch of, so I have carrot seeds over here, I can just plant some carrot seeds, and I have also some cabbage seeds, can plant them over here. And if I just wait long enough, they will grow and I can harvest them. If they have grown and I just leave them there, they will just rot. So I have to harvest them. And once they are harvested, they will also rot in my inventory. So this has been some sort of food that I left in my inventory too long. I have to turn it into seeds to plant it again, or I actually have to consume it. And there are certain recipes in the game. So there's this crafting system, and there are the recipes to make like the bowl of cooked veggies that gives you carrot and cabbage, berry pie with berries and a wheat bushel that gives you health over time and makes you full. There's bread, there's meat, there's all sorts of stuff. You can craft your tools, you can craft magic items, rings, certain types of armaments. The item system is very interesting. So you craft your items based on, let me actually switch to the other character. You craft items based on metal that you find underground. So the ultimate goal is, after you set yourself up, to go down into the below. That's where it lurks. And and as you go down, you fight monsters, you find items, and you find ore. And with that ore, you can start making better and better equipment. Into the equipment, you can socket gems. These gems you find from slaying monsters. I'm not sure if they're called gems actually. Crystals, sorry, crystals. So these crystals you can socket into your equipment. They have randomized stats that give you interesting benefits. So this one gives me speed. This is why I'm running so fast. This one gives me wisdom and heals me for critical damage. This one is exceptional. It gives me a bunch of stats that are really, really cool, including magic find if I kill things. And also, I just activated my heal that I didn't need because I pressed the wrong button. And that's the item system. And then the actual class system. There are currently 4 classes in the game: the cleric, the rogue, the wizard, and the bard. And the way it works is every 5 levels you get an ancient item that is associated with your class. And every level you get an ancient orb that you can use to level up your ancient items. So if you play as a cleric, you get this, which heals you and then has a 1-minute cooldown. And you get this Pure Guard, which grants a multiplier for your armor. Armor is damage reduction, so this is almost twice the armor that I normally would have. And it's like up all the time. So the thing is that you can find, when slaying monsters, you can find ancient items from other classes. So I found this one from the bard, which increases my intelligence and wisdom by 6 points. And intelligence is my mana, so I have 30 shots, not 16. And wisdom is recharge speed. So if you remember my other character that was recharging kind of slow, this one recharges in an instant. So really, really cool stuff. And then another one that gives me damage based on my armor, which synergizes really, really well. That's another cleric item. But I did find another bard item that gives me a damage aura, which I'm not using because I like that one. That's more damage than the damage aura. By the way, the weapon I'm using, that's a unique weapon. This one was a staff that was usually, when I found it, it was a cold staff with multiple projectiles. This is why it fires 3 projectiles and it's cold type. But then I added a rune word to it. Yes, it is a David Brevik game, so there are runes in the game. I have these runes here collected. You can 3-to-1 a rune, but only if you find an altar for that, which I was happy to find in the game world. So I also found a recipe that allowed me to find out what runes I need to make this one. And after a little bit of rune combining, I finally found all 3 of them to make this one. The world, if you just keep on walking to either side, loops around. So it takes about 3 to 4 minutes, no, not that long, like 2 minutes maybe to loop around fully. So it's not that big, but the top of the world is just the tip of the iceberg. I have this recall stone, which sends me down to the bottom of the dungeon. So this is actually the end of the beta. This is where the final boss is. And there are a couple more monsters here, and I can demonstrate, I can use that to demonstrate the way that the dungeon works. So as you can see, I couldn't get up here, so I used my wood that I gathered from chopping down trees at the surface, and with the crafting panel, I am able to craft torches and ladder step platforms. And these torches are pretty important because they allow me to see things, and the ladder step platforms are pretty essential to get around. So I can just place them here, and they allow me to travel both up and down. They don't block me, while these blocks are blocking me. If I don't want those blocks, I can also just hack them away, because I do have a pickaxe, and this allows me to just make my way into that dungeon. So I don't have to go through the door, I can go right through that thing. And there we actually, let's make it a bit more light. There we also have mithril. So this is like the crafting material that we need to make the armor. And all the dirt that I just collected, I can also put back into the world again. So with this, I can build the most amazing structures if I want at the surface. And there's many more blocks you can build and to make your houses, which is obviously not what we want here. We want to like kill some mobs. So that was an obvious trap. There was a mob down there that exploded this, and then I fell down. And we just found another ancient item from another class. This is from the wizard class, actually. This is the first one. If I would put that into my hotbar and activate it, I can actually do that here. Then I gain shield, and that shield absorbs damage until basically all the damage is absorbed. The shield breaks down, then it goes into cooldown. Or if I deactivate it, then it's on cooldown as well. This item works only if I have it in a hotbar. So if I still want to use my torches, I can't use that ancient item. So this is how skills are balanced in this game, because you need to have some things in your inventory to move around. You need your ladders to move through the dungeon. You need the torches to illuminate the scene. You might need health pots. I right now don't, because I'm insanely overpowered with this wand that I don't need that. I'm gonna head back to the surface again. So with this portal stone, you basically have a one way back and forth between your home and where you left off, and with that you can travel back and forth. I'm gonna sleep a little bit because my stamina gets low. Also, I'm getting very hungry here. With this character, it doesn't matter really because I have a lot of sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds don't go bad. So other than, for example, this pie that goes bad in 30 minutes, I should have eaten the pie instead of the sunflowers. It would have been smarter. But yeah, my mistake. So I'm just quickly gonna harvest the sunflowers here. Get this, get out my hoe, re-hoe this entire thing. Wah. And then I can replant my crops to get more sunflower seeds. So you really have to pay attention to not starve to death or not let your crops go bad. That is an integral part of the game. It doesn't get any easier. Whoops. You can get overpowered in the dungeon below, but you're still susceptible to dying if you don't pay attention to your crops. So that's the basic gameplay loop. The beta has 2 levels, so this is kind of the top 3 levels basically. This is kind of the top level. This is the one that always stays the same once you cleared it out. There are randomized invasions that happen, and then all your vendors disappear, and there's a set amount of monsters that roam the world on top and try to kill you and the base. And there's one unique monster that you have to encounter, and you have to kill all the invaders to get your vendors back. That happens randomly, occasionally, and it usually happens when you're down there in the dungeon trying to kill stuff. Then there's the second level that is kind of muddy with a lot of ogres and kobolds and spiders and a gigantic beholder as a boss. And the third level you've just seen is the icy caves with a very, very creepy boss at the end. The full game will have something around 10 to 15 levels, so it will take quite some time to get down there. The level cap for the character will be 50, and once you defeated the end boss, the game is not over, because there's this guy, the legendary Wizard Soul, and from him you can get books, reality books, and these reality books will reshape the game world. So if I would buy this book now, which I can because I do have enough money, and just step outside for a second. So that's something that you have to do. You have to be outside and read that book. Then it completely resets the world. Close that door. And I can start killing monsters again from the second level. So only the top level basically stays the same. Everything else will be new, which is a really cool concept. Wow, that was not clever. Good thing is, and I'm killing me even more. Good thing I have a heal. So this is all the same. I keep hurting myself. Not very clever. Boop, boop. And there we go. So everything from here all the way down to the last boss is newly generated. So I get new monsters here. I get new items here. I have to explore everything again. I have to create my way with a hoe. That's not good. I have to hack my way through here. And in the beta, it only generates these things in normal difficulty. So these monsters are extremely weak compared to my incredible magic elemental wand. Although he managed to get a crit on me. But in the full game, fresh meat. It's raw meat, not fresh meat. Actually, I never found that on this character, so that gives me a recipe, and I can now make cooked meat if I go back to the surface, to my stove, sizzle, and now I can eat it. And I sleep. So when the game launches, with the full game, you can buy wizard books that randomize the world and the difficulty, or it sets the difficulty, so it can up the difficulty from the second level on. It can add properties to the areas that you have below, so it works similar to the Path of Exile map system, which sounds really exciting. So this dude will make sure that there's a lot of replayability, even on the same character, until you hit level 50, and even then I guess you can continue because the content will be harder than your level 50 character, and then you start working on your items. In terms of weapons, you've seen this weapon, and you have also seen the other one that I have on this character. This is a poison weapon, but this is not all. In terms of weapons, there's all sorts of crazy things that can occur. For example, this one is a beam wand. So this one obviously pierces. Can hit many enemies with that. Then there's a reflective wand. I really like that, because you can do these things. And then there is multi-shot, and you've seen that. And these are only the things that are currently in the beta, so I guess there will be a bunch more. There's one that I can't show you, or can I? I think I can. I don't know if I have that weapon still on this character. Let me check. If I do have it, it's in the bank. Oh, I have it here. Okay. Yeah, this one is a fun one as well. I have to go back into the dungeon because this one can actually destroy my home. Let me... I don't know, this one doesn't explode. I had another one that... So this is a reflective one, like the other one I had. I'm so slow with this wand. The unique one is so much better. Efficient cane. They actually do have the same name, but they behave very differently. Yeah. So this is a mortar that bounces back and forth. And as you can see, if you don't pay attention... Okay, I got lucky there. But I can actually... If you're not careful with this wand, you can kill yourself with that very easily by destroying everything under you. Oh, where's my torches? I don't have any torches. No! Let's simply craft a torch. And we don't need this dirt. Boop. Okay, there's loot here, but we don't need to pick any of this up because, honestly, that wand is just the coolest. Ow, ow. And we're back. So this is basically it. I had a ton of fun playing the beta, testing it out. I will continue tomorrow because I still haven't seen the rogue. I'm going to start as the rogue, see what skills he has, see what other interesting combinations I can find. The closed beta is going to end tomorrow, which is very sad. I really hope that the next months that David mentioned, he will need to finish the game, pass as quick as possible, because I can't wait to get that game into my hand. If you want to find more about that game, to find out more, please click the link in the description below that links to Greybeard Games' website and to his Steam page, and also to his Twitch channel and to the Twitch channel of the Jungle Queen, his wife, who regularly streams together with him as well. That's it for now. My name is Robert, and I hope to see you in game.